No new thought that we need to take action in order to get the results we want. But the reality is many of us don't take the right actions. We get confused, we do things, but we really don't have the right strategies. And therefore, we don't always get the right results that we're looking for. So, what we're going to do today is we are going to dive deep. We are going to be asking questions on how we can, one, start to learn to identify what truly are the right actions, and then also really talk about some strategies to make sure they work. So, stay tuned. You're going to want to take notes. So, get a pen and piece of paper, and let's take some time to learn how to be productive. I'm your host, Clara Capano, and we'll be right back.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
The best bilingual news, business talk, and technology content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are watching Now Media Television, the first bilingual media network in the United States.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I am your host, Clara Capano, and this is where we highlight experts and talk about how you can stop being simply busy and start getting productive. What we are doing is breaking down the Clarity Success Method, and this week we are talking all about taking action. But not just taking any action, taking the right action. And to help us out, I have expert Kristen Maurer here with us to go over how important it is to take the right action. So Kristen, welcome. How are you?
Welcome, Clara. So good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes. Well, I had to have you back. You were on one of our earlier sections where we talked all about vision. But what I want to talk about is the importance of taking the right action. As a productivity expert, one of the things that I talk with people all the time is helping them get clear on what it is they need to do. Oftentimes, we bring that back to the vision that they've created. But the one thing I hear time and time again is even though they know they can do something, they start doing too much of the things because they don't focus on what they should be doing, and they sometimes get stuck. So talk to me about how we can get ourselves unstuck and get us back on track to start taking the right actions.
Oh, such a good place to focus on, because I feel like stuck is just a word that we've all become accustomed to. Oh, I feel stuck. So when we're looking at stuck, we're looking at us trying to figure it all out. So this is when I work with my clients in this area I like to say, this is a really good time to question yourself. Like, ask yourself, why am I feeling stuck? What is it? Am I trying to figure all this out? And ask yourself a question, whatever you're doing or whatever you're going to do next. I like to look at it like this. Is what I'm doing next, is it in alignment with what I am trying to do here? Does it feel like it's constructive or constrictive? Like, is it going to push you forward, or is it going to actually hold you back? So when you can start questioning them, paying attention, like pay attention to that, literally what it feels like what this action that you're going to do, that'll tell you. That's huge.
I love that. Is this constructive or constrictive? I think what a great, question to ask before you agree to say yes and do something. Again, is it helping me build that vision, or is it taking me further away from that vision? And I think those are great ways to bring in checks and balances. I often tell people, to ask themselves, does this make good business sense? Because we have to, again, think at a higher level. Would you, have you noticed in working with your clients, are there certain things over others that maybe get people stuck, or do we get in our own ways too often? What are some of the things that cause overwhelm and cause us to get stuck?
Well, we can look at and ask ourselves, what is it right here? It all comes out honestly down to our mindset about it. Whether we think this is something we should do or have to do, and we pay attention to that. If it feels heavy, like when you look at those words as a breakdown, you know how if you're cold, you're going to kind of pull your body in and you're going to feel cold. It's constrictive. You want to do something to like, okay, this is like, it's not feeling right. I'm cold. I don't want this. When you're looking at what this next task you've decided to do, and you're like, paying attention to that kind of gut feeling, that why am I doing this? Is this something that's in alignment? I think that word alignment is key. Is it something that I'm doing because I want to do, I think I should do, I have to do, I should do? Those starting to look at those words. And if it's not in alignment, it doesn't feel good to you, guess what? Here's a little secret here. It's not something you truly should be doing. Right. Because there's somewhere in there that you don't really truly believe that's going to get you to that next step. So when we look at it as from a mindset perspective, and this is we could have a whole conversation about this, but just look at it from that perspective. If it doesn't feel good, it's somewhere a belief in there about what it's doing. You don't do it. Right. Look at it from a different perspective.
Yeah. And I think you're onto something really important here, because we do have to connect with that visceral level, understanding that, because oftentimes when we're talking about being productive, if it's something that is not in alignment, or if it's something that doesn't bring us joy, let's be honest, we're not going to show up. Those are the things that we're probably going to procrastinate on and really avoid doing, and sort of, just go through the motions rather than really embedding ourselves in it. So I think it is really important, because if it's something that doesn't bring us joy, maybe it is something that we can start to delegate out and do. But the problem is sometimes, not all the time, the idea, I think, would be, let's fill our plate with as many actions that lift us up. But sometimes there are certain things that we have to do that don't always feel great, but they are the things. And the one thing that I find most, and you can tell me if you see this with your clients too, it's calls. So many people that are watching this are in business, and we have that concept of sales calls, and people get call reluctance. But that is something we need to do oftentimes to bring in more business. So we have to be productive and purposeful and still do those, even though they might feel uncomfortable. So I think there's a difference between, is something uncomfortable or is it out of alignment? How would you tap into those things and really help someone identify, is it something we need to do? And how can we maybe change our mindset around something that is uncomfortable versus something that is out of alignment?
Absolutely. So if you're in a position where, we all need to share what we do, whether you want to call it marketing, sales, whatever word works for you. If, in order to tell people what you do and have the business, you have to share what it is you do. So from this perspective, let's take the calls, for example. If you're in sales and that's your job to make the calls, yes, there's times when you're tired, you don't feel like doing it. But if it becomes down to like the phone just feels heavy, look at it from a perspective of, this isn't about me. This isn't about me saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. This is about coming back to your vision, coming back to the clarity, coming back to you. This is the way you serve by whatever this business is. And if you know you can help the other person at the other end of the phone, and yes, it's in alignment, and yes, it's going to maybe feel uncomfortable, but if you come from a place of, let me come back again, asking yourself the question, who can I serve today? Who can I help today? If my whatever I do is the answer to their problem, then I have to take myself out of this equation and get out of my own way. And yes, it's in alignment with my business. So it's, again, to me, when you're coming back to yourself going, well, why don't I want to make this call? I mean, not put aside it's tired or that kind of stuff, and put aside going, what is it that's making me not want to pick up that phone? And that can get into a lot of other questions and a lot of other discussion, but in the high level understanding of it, it comes down to, if there's one person I can reach today, and I said I'm going to make 6 calls, well, then let me pick up the phone and talk to that person.
Yeah.
And that's
I
my way of
love
serving.
that. And I'm so glad you brought it up. If I had a microphone, I would do a mic drop on this, because that truly is what it's about. It's about the value behind it. For me, in a way to help me shift my mindset, especially with the calls, I changed even the way that I refer to them. They're not sales calls, they're connection calls. And remembering that we are there to serve. And whether it's we have a product or a service, whatever it is, if we are truly coming from a place of they need this to be better, then we have an obligation to do it. And I think, again, learning how to connect with them on that level, and again, bring that human element into it, that's another way to, again, be more purposeful and productive in those connections when we're doing them. But I think this can relate to almost any of the activities. Again, what is it that's causing the discomfort? We know we need to do it. So again, how can we reframe it and then bring it back to that vision? I had one of my clients, and that's what she would do, is she would look at that vision and remember, oh, these calls are going to not only allow me to serve others, but these calls are going to be what connects me with this goal that I want on my vision board. So I think, again, it's so much, and that's what I love about the clarity method, is it really ties everything together. So, putting that together. Now, the other thing that I know is, when we're doing these things and laying them out, again, so many times we try to do everything. I am a believer of the fact that it's better to do less at a higher level than to try to do everything. I have found that for most people, not everyone, a sweet spot is sort of around maybe 5 to 7 core activities that they should be doing on a regular basis. What have you found?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're looking at it from a perspective of, here's the things that have to happen in my business, and especially no matter where you are in your business, it's always good to consistently check in with yourself. And sometimes I'm all about, how can I, whatever it is I'm doing, how can I make this simpler? Now, it could be find another app, find another portal, talk to somebody, hey, I'm trying to do this, what's working for you? Or it could be literally hiring somebody, like, you and I have talked about on the side, like, it's not necessarily you trying to figure it out, but it's you, again, pulling back in your questioning yourself. What do I like doing in my business, I like to call it my back office? What am I good at? What do I enjoy? But what do I actually need help in? Because we're not all good at all the hats, but we have to wear all the hats, or we have to oversee all the hats. So when you can kind of check in and go, okay, this is where I am. This is what I've got going on. This is where I need some help. Is it something I can do myself and find a simpler process? Or do I need to hire someone? So yeah, maybe like 3, I would say right in there, 5 to 7. But look at it in the big picture of what you're doing in your day, because it's, you want to, again, be able to serve. Your ultimate idea and your ultimate goal of your business is to serve. You don't want to be bogged down back here. So it's, again, checking in with yourself and coming back around going, what is making me feel heavy right now? Because when you're there, you're not able to serve fully, because you got all the back office kind of stuff to do. So
exactly. And I think, you hit on something so important, that the idea of looking not just at the actions, but again, the system to make the action happen and to make it happen simple, because that's where we get into the idea of being productive with our time and really carving it out, but also asking yourself, is there somebody else that could do this better than me or even quicker than me? There are certain things that don't have to be 100% perfect, or somebody else can, again, get them done in less time. So again, coming back to that concept of just because we can do everything, it doesn't mean we should be doing everything.
Absolutely. Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
Now, do you have in your bag of tricks? I know for me, I sort of have my secret weapon. I have that one action that sort of is the domino effect to get other things happening. Do you have sort of one action step that you take that sort of starts the process for the other things getting done?
So I like to balance sometimes in terms of if I'm setting up an event, I like to be creative. So sometimes it's just going on to something, creating a flyer will kind of just rework that other part of my brain. So there's sometimes I'm kind of going, okay, one of the things I like to do is when I sit down on my desk, I'll write 3 things I'm actually going to get done in that time I'm going to sit down at my desk. Now I say that, and I usually put drink water as one of them because I can check that off and I like to cross it off. So I kind of check in with myself going, okay, right now I have 2 hours right now to do whatever it's going to do. And I will look at what I had on my list, and I call it my get done list. I don't call it my to-do list. I'm like, what am I going to get done? So I like to consistently check in. What day is it? What time of day is it? What do I have coming up? What did I just get off of? But again, it always comes back to consistently checking in with yourself and having those non-negotiables in your day. And believe me, there's days when I'm just like, I'm done. I'm done todaying. I don't even care what's on my list. So I think it's kind of just tuning into yourself. Yeah. And because we can write a lot of things on our list, and then we get into the day, you and I know things happen. Things have to shift and move around. So it's that check-in.
I love that. Well, Kristen, it has been so great having you on again. You know, we covered so many things from really connecting your actions back to your vision. We talked about really staying in tune with your body, your feelings, and your mindset. And if things are not getting done, questioning why. Looking at, is this something you should be doing, or is there a system or someone else that could have a system? So many great things about helping us to stay in alignment, to do the right things, not everything, and knowing that when we do the right thing, that's really going to help us work at a higher level and achieve that level of productivity. So Kristen, if someone out there is watching and wants to connect with you, what's the best place for them to find you?
Sunflower Connections, Activate Your Vision on Instagram. Sunflower Connections on Facebook right now is the best way to connect me. DM me, guys. I'm happy to talk.
Beautiful. Thanks, well, Kristen, thanks so much for being here. And for those of you watching, stay tuned because we will have more tips and tricks talking about how to stop being busy and how to take the right actions to get you productive. We'll be right back with Be Productive.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low-cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fitch. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you're struggling with your own tax nightmare, we've got great news. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now, you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I'm your host, Clara Capano, and we are talking today about taking action. When we look at the Clarity Success Method, taking action is a part of it. But you know what? It's not just about taking action. It's about taking the right action. And to help us uncover what that really means, we have Libby Boyd, who is a phenomenal business coach, joining us today. So Libby, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
Yes, it is great to see you. And I really wanted to dive deep with you on this because this is something that you focus on each and every day with your clients. You know, it's really easy for people to just say, all right, I'm fired up, I'm ready to go. And then they go out there and they do a little bit of everything and don't find results. So talk to me a little bit about why it's so important to uncover the right activities we need to do and why that's important in allowing us to stay productive.
Yeah, it's a really tough thing that all of us deal with, especially us as entrepreneurs. What I've seen is so many of us start our own business. I work with realtors specifically, but other people who start their own business say, oh, it's so great, I'm my own boss, but they forget they're also the worker bee. So they want to take action, they want to be productive, but they just don't know what to do.
So how can people start to uncover what is the right thing for them to do?
Yeah, they really have to wear both hats. When you run your own business, you have to approach it like you're the boss, right? The boss is going to say, here are the high level priorities. I need you to get this done. We're used to having either being a boss or being the worker bee, but to wear both hats is a really big shift for a lot of people starting their own business. So they have to not only think about the big picture, what they want to accomplish, but then break that down into actionable items that they can execute.
You know, I really like that you bring that concept up of wearing both hats, because when we do shift over, you know, we do become the CEO, but we have to remember we're also still an employee. And sometimes as the CEO, we need to step in and tell our employee they're not doing what they really want to do. You know, Robin Sharma, who is one of my mentors, has always said it's better to be world class at a few things than mediocre at many. You know, I find that for me, it's somewhere around maybe 6 or 7 things. And what I really want to do is identify those and build my schedule around those. What are your thoughts? Have you kind of found a sweet spot for people?
Yeah, when people come into the real estate business, they usually have some previous career. And so most of them do not come from a completely different industry. But if they do, let's just say I have some clients of mine that are in nursing, and there is a lot of care and attention and listening that they give to their nursing clients, and they can bring that into real estate. However, there is a lot of lending about construction. There's a lot of other things that they're very clueless about that they need to focus on. So use their what they're really good at to focus on, you know, that they already know how to do, but then they really need to, you know, support the rest of their education with these items that they're really unfamiliar with.
Definitely. And that's where, again, you have to carve out time to educate yourself. And I also think it would be really important to sit down with someone who's already having success and maybe learn from them. You know, what were some of the things? And then again, pick and choose what's going to work best for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've worked together in this, and, you know, we all have our strong suits. We all have our go-tos. We also all have those frogs, right? They eat the frog. What are those things that we hate doing? And I can tell you almost every one of my clients hates picking up the phone. So I force them to do that. But I was saying that I have one client, Gretchen, and she went through my program, but she was an assistant. So she was great at real estate. She was great at taking the orders and doing contracts and banging them out as an assistant, but she couldn't get on that CEO mind frame until she started working with me in my 90-day program. And she did. And within 90 days, she earned $41,000 of her own success fees just in those 90 days. Likewise, I have another client. He was actually my real estate client, Nick, LA attorney, big time dude, who moved to Colorado and all of a sudden left lawyering and decided to instead go into real estate. Well, now he's used to having a lot of paralegals and a lot of underlings doing the busy work. So then he had to shift actually from being a boss to also the worker bee. So it comes from both sides of the table.
That's really interesting to look at that. And I think, you know, again, it's going into, you've got to take a step back and you've got to look at the role as a whole. You know, what really needs to get done. And one of the things that I work with my clients on is really asking them, you know, looking at your role as a CEO, what are the dollar productive activities? What is it that you really need to focus most of your time on? Now, I know for a fact that one of the things that really keeps people from doing the right actions is that they get distracted. They get pulled off by the bright and shiny objects around them. Do you have any tips or strategies to help people maintain their level of focus so that they can truly stay focused and stay in their zone of genius?
Well, absolutely, Clara. What we'd really like to do is just focus on the big picture. I see so many of my clients, especially when they're new, they're just chasing a deal and they're not doing the big picture. They're not really trying to build a sustainable career. And I was just doing a presentation on this where these people are buying fish, right? They are paying for leads, they are buying the fish, they're just trying to get a paycheck. And it's really hard because that's what you really want. You're broke and you're just starting, you want that paycheck. But to really help them step back, remember the lifestyle and the career they're trying to build. And instead, I teach them to fish, right? That is sustainable. So it's a daily reminder to not chase after the thing that might give you the paycheck first and really look at building a sustainable career. It's not easy, but we just have to remind ourselves every day with visuals, with our dollar figures that we want to make to remind us we're in it for the long haul. We're not in it for just the bright, shiny paycheck that we think might be around the corner.
Right. So when I talk about gaining clarity and the clarity success model, the very first step is C, it's clarifying your vision. And if I'm hearing you correctly, that is what you are encouraging people to do to help them stay productive and stay in the right actions, is bring it back and revisit what is your main vision? What is it that you're really working towards? And what are the actions that we need to do? So I love that. So I want to talk a little bit about the beginning stages, because I know you work with a lot of people in helping them, get their business up and running in 90 days or less. I remember when I was starting my consulting business, and again, doing all the things that we've just talked about, doing everything, seeing what sticks. What I did is I sat down and I identified again, what are the core things that I really felt I needed to do? And I built a schedule around these things. Do you find that building a schedule and time blocking is another, really important tool that you teach your clients to do?
Absolutely. It is the most important thing. What my program does is kind of makes it a little bit training wheels on building a schedule. And what I do is every single day for 90 days, I give them an actionable item, because they show up for work and they don't know what to do. They want to be productive. They want to be in the business, but they don't know what to do today. And the other thing with that is they think that their mentor is their boss. So they're surprised when their boss is not giving them daily tasks. Their mentor's hanging out just on call when they need them. So I really broke it down so that they start getting in the mind frame of every single day, I show up for work and I know what to do. Now, yes, we do talk about really doing the right mindset in the morning and that morning routine. I know that is your that is your end all be all for how you're so incredibly successful. So we do work on that, but just get in the mind frame, like you show up to work and you know what to do. And hopefully that becomes just their pattern for the rest of their career.
I love that. So what would you encourage someone to do if they are sitting and they're feeling like they are just spinning out of control, whether they are brand new or maybe are just in a little bit of a rut, because we all do that? What would you say is one quick thing that they can do to help them reset their patterns so they can get back in the realm and be productive?
Wow, that's a really good question. I think a lot of us coaches, I know you say this all the time, you don't have to do everything, but you have to do something. So what I ask them to do when we talk about these patterns, some people have great routines already. They go to the workout in the morning, they do some mindfulness exercises, they get to work, they write their notes, they make their calls, but most people have zero routine. So I ask them to pick 3 things, usually 3 personal, whether it's doing your Wordle, doing some breathing exercises, whatever it is, and then 3 business activities every single day. So I said, we don't have to do everything, but we have to do something. Let's start having a pattern of pick 3 personal and 3 business things you do every single day to start that habit. And then we can start adding additional activities in there. But if we can start creating some habits and patterns around that, that's, I think, a good baby step to help people start set on the right path.
Yeah, it's so true. And action breeds energy, which again gets that, bicycle going in the right way. So we got to just sometimes take that one step. So I have one last question for you. And this is around the concept of saying no. And I would just love to hear, what is maybe a phrase or something that you use as your go-to, so that if somebody wants to try to pull us off track, or if somebody is asking us to do something that maybe isn't one of the core activities we should do, how do you say no when someone asks you to do something that you know is not going to be productive?
Say, what's that word? No. We're moms. We are, we're doers and we show up for people. So it's really hard to say no. I have a lot of amazing mentors in my life as I'm building this coaching business, and I have lots of beautiful, amazing ideas coming in, and it's hard to not go on all these different tangents. So I read in one of the business coaching books that I was reading, it says 18 months for one offer. So I really have to kind of sit back and just allow me to focus on one thing for these 18 months. And then I can start to add on different offerings, different opportunities. So it's really hard to say no. But again, it goes back to what we were talking about with that visual. I have all my clients put up, whether it's trips or their dream home. So they wake up in the morning and they see the big picture, right? I have them write their income goal, their receiving goal on their whiteboard that they see every day at their desk. So just every single day coming back to that and reminding yourself why you're showing up, and remembering there's lots of distractions, and you owe it to yourself and your business to just stay the course and just play it out and just say, we'll put that in the back burner, but for now it's a no.
I love that. Fantastic. Well, Libby, you have brought so many great ideas to us. And I love the idea of thinking about, bringing both worlds together, of running the business, but also still being an employee, of test driving certain things to sort of, again, find your way, but also, again, knowing that when you commit to something, stay with that for a minimal amount of time, whether it's 18 months, 12 months, or even 90 days, and just focus on that and say no to anything else that might pull you off track. So if people want to find you, where is the best place for people to find you, and where do you hang out most?
I do a lot on Instagram and Facebook, so you can find me there, 90 New You. I have a couple programs. So that's my website right there, 90daysnewagent.com. And I think I have the 90 New Agent, my Instagram handle. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all the socials, but that's my website. And hopefully you can check me out on some live trainings. 90 New Agent. It's a really great program and really launches people into the right career.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for being here. And for all of you, I hope you're taking great notes. Keep them nearby, and we'll be right back after this commercial break for more Be Productive.
My name is Andrew Glisson. Over the past 4 years, I've built a portfolio of over 200 single-family rental properties that generate over $200,000 a month in income. I've put together a 6-step formula to help you consistently acquire rental properties that cash flow $250,000 or more a month and have $30,000 or more of equity built into them. This includes starting right, becoming bankable, buying right, renovating right, exit strategies, property management, and many more modules. Best of all, if you're not totally blown away by the content, we offer a 30-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If you're ready to build generational wealth for you and your family, look me up at sfruniversity.com.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Taking a trip in the next 12 months? Airlines are under tremendous pressure and they're practically giving away their unsold seats. Like every crisis, this one will end too. But right now is the best time to take advantage of giveaway ticket prices on their unsold seats. We're not allowed to publish these low fares online. The only way to get these rock bottom giveaway prices is to call. So phone low cost airlines now for airline ticket prices you may never see again.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fitch. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you're struggling with your own tax nightmare, we've got great news. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now, you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Welcome back to Be Productive. I'm your host, Clara Capano, and this is the show where we highlight key strategies with experts to help you be more productive in your life and business. Today, we are talking about action. At the end of the day, we can talk and dream all we want, but if we don't take action, we're not going to get to where we want. And I have an expert. In fact, she calls herself the strategy lady. I have Danette Moss here. Danette, welcome to the show.
Hello, Clara. As always, I'm excited to be on any stage or any platform with you. It's an honor to be here today. How are you?
I am fantastic. And you know, you are going to be able to share so much knowledge with us because this is one of the areas that you excel at and you really help your clients with this. You know, so many times as entrepreneurs, as people in business, our focus shifts to, oh, the more that I do, the more success I'm going to have. And then we find ourselves living in this world of being busy, but not productive. So talk to us a little bit about the importance of understanding it's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things.
You know, Claire, I come from a space of simplicity. If you know me and you follow me, you would know that. I believe in life that if we simplify things, we can get so much more further instead of overcomplicating. I find that female CEOs, oftentimes we go into overload mode and we're easily frustrated by it. And so if you use the framework that I come from all the time, SAS, I believe that life will help you get where you need to go, because I believe every female CEO needs a little sass in her life. So let me quickly tell you what that really means. When we think about the S in SAS, simplify is the first one. It's so important because, again, if we don't have clarity, speaking to the Clarity Queen, we will be all over the place. So simplifying every step of your business and in life, I find that I can move in a more efficient type of way. Okay. And then as I simplify, Clara, I can begin to take an actionable step. And that's what the A stands for in SAS. When you can take action from a space or a place of clarity, you can move seamlessly. So now these actionable steps don't have to be big steps, right? It can be something as simple as when I get up every morning and I come down to my office, what's the first thing that I'm going to do on a consistent day-to-day base? But because I've simplified my life and I'm clear on things, as I notate things, AKA we have that prioritized to-do list. I mean, it can come from so many different directions. I can take the necessary actionable steps in order for me to achieve the end goal in mind. But the thing that I love about it is I'm not frustrated at the end because I'm not overwhelmed, right?
Which is key, because it's so easy. Again, you look at those long to-do lists and it's so easy to get, overwhelmed with all that. And then we become paralyzed and we can't take the right actions. Before we continue on the SAS model, simplifying, I think that is so key in a starting point because, again, we start to think about, I have to do everything, and that's overcomplicating it. Again, when we think about what are the right actions we need to take, one, keep it simple, and then go to that. Now that it's simplified, it's going to be easier for you to get clear on what you really should do.
That's it.
Now let's go into the next part. What's the next S? The S for the SAS part.
No, the S for the SAS part is systemizing. Okay. When you deal with systemization, remember, we can't take action on things, or, we can take action on things, but we can overcomplicate it. Oftentimes, especially when we get to the automation piece, right? Okay, because really SAS, systematize, automate, it wasn't action in my other one. When you automate, actually, that's what it was. Sometimes you can automate chaos. Okay, you don't want to do that. This is why simplifying is important. Getting clarity is important because we're all over the place. But when we talked about systemization, I think about what are the key things that we really need to systemize, right? If I know as a business owner who's thought clear through the process, I need to be looking at what it is that I can keep. So I say, keep it, pause it, delegate it, or scrap it, right? And when we're thinking about systemization, you need to have something to gauge it by. Oftentimes people use the SMART methodology, right? You can do that too, but I also pull that in. What are those key things that I work best at? What's my gift? What is in my wheelhouse? And as I've done the first two, the S and the A, now as I'm going through the systemization piece, I don't waste my time, Clara, on systemizing things that I'm not working on.
And I love how you said that we can systemize chaos, and when we're talking about being productive, there's so many things that we do multiple times. When we have a system, it makes it more turnkey and more fluid. So each time it's going to take a little less and less. And again, even though now that we have a system, it may just take us 1 minute less. All those little minutes start to add up. So again, having a system is key to the replication, which allows us to be more purposeful and productive.
True. Listen, I travel, you travel. We have life is lifing, and I have to jump to different places. I tell you this, if I didn't have a system or some sort of process, I would not be able to show up even in tense moments, right? In tight situations. So systemization is going to be key. But because we have all those other things outlined in the beginning, the S and the A, I'm able to systemize things or move fluidly or give it to my admin or junior admin to make things easy, right? So,
I love it.
So Claire, when we get to the last S, which is streamlining our business is key. We can't streamline anything if all those other things are not in order.
No, we
There's
cannot.
absolutely no way. And so when I look at things like my workflows, when I look at my growth method, because I believe everyone should want to streamline their business because that's business growth. It's no way to do it. Having those other things in motion allows me to set the pace of where I am, where I'm going. I can look ahead 90 days. This is where we think about our business planning. You know, all these key things will allow me to streamline best. And I've been recently dealing with someone when we talk about business planning, how utilizing my business plan allows me to be able to kind of use it as my prioritized to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
And I can walk through that step-by-step process because I've looked at the key things to see where it is I'm going. And now I know my next steps. And now I can continue to move forward. Streamlining also allows me to be able to look at my data and do all the key things that I really need to be able to look at in its most efficient, productive way. But if you have not simplified, if it's not automated, remember, you're not automating mess, not chaos. And systematized, streamlining is going to be kind of hard to do, right? Because you're using those first three in order to get to that next phase. Those first three will allow you to clearly look at your data. It will allow you to clearly really acknowledge the areas that you don't work best at. You know, it's you know, not often that most of us can necessarily hire someone in the beginning, but if you can set these phases up for yourself, you will move a little bit more fluidly, and then it'll be easier for you, Claire, when it's time for you to delegate it to someone else or scrap it possibly.
Exactly. So, you know, the SaaS model is so great. Again, we cover it's simplify, automate,
systematize,
and then streamline.
So
So it's great to lay all these out. And the theory behind this is 100% spot on. But let's be honest, we get in our own way. What do you think is the main reason why most of us get overwhelmed and start not doing the right things? You know, what are the things that we do to ourselves to sabotage us, to pull us back and start getting in that whirlwind of trying to do it all?
Well, the first piece is a part of your model. We're not clear. We do not have clarity, Claire. We don't have it. We get tied up into doing what everybody else said we should do. I'm looking at your model, this person's model, and I'm trying to figure things out. When you get clear, you know, people talk about target audience, understanding your niche, but understanding who it is, she is, or he is, whoever you're speaking to, is going to be one of the first steps, right? Understanding what it is you decide you want to offer, getting clear again. So as you're clear there, now you can take more of that systematic approach. So oftentimes I tell people, no matter who I'm consulting or coaching, even if they're new in business or, you know, been seasoned in business for a while, generally speaking, when I'm having a discovery session with them, I still have them get what's in their head, out of their head, down on paper. Because when we can't write the vision and see it clean, I say write the vision so them, you know, so you can and make it plain so them that see it can run with it. You can't run with things that you can't see. And if you keep it here, there's no way. So we get a little confused and we're hopping all over. It's like someone who says, I operate as a baker, yet I'm selling tires. They don't mesh well.
Exactly.
They don't. You know, so clarity, I believe, is the first key. Secondly, get what's in your head, out of your head, down on paper. It's the old-fashioned brain dump. We're not talking about categorizing right off. Once you brain dump and you see it all there, Clara, now you can take and say, oops, this is marketing. This is sales. This is administration. So you can see clear now. The light bulb is on and you're going, I don't like this. I'm going to give it to Clara or I'm going to give it to Danette, you know?
Absolutely. So we have about 2 minutes left, and I want to ask one question around strategy. What is a great tip that you have? So if somebody is coming to you and it's going to pull you off track and keep you from doing the right activities, what is a strategy you give your clients to have them say, no, this is not something I should be doing?
Well, I think you need to give yourself a checkup from the neck up. You need to understand in any and everything that you do, if we want to use the married analogy, is this the perfect marriage? If it doesn't marry well with your business model, your business plan, it's screaming at you. You're going to be frustrated. I'm dealing with a situation right now with, I have Digital CEO Systems, my other brand. It's a SaaS company, and I offer a platform for people to use. Well, we have what we call office hours, right? Office hours is free. I give that to everyone to come on, and I can see if you're in your system and working on your software. I can also see if you hadn't touched it. Office hours comes at something it's given, okay? But now I do from time to time have people that say they want a private session with me. It's not the perfect marriage.
Right.
Private sessions are for people who pay for those VIP sessions. So you have to know yourself, respectively make sure you deliver that message to your customers, and make sure again that it's the perfect marriage. If you jump off kilter, you're going to frustrate yourself and you will not show up well for your clients. And sometimes you just have to have that honest checkup from the neck up conversation.
So true. We got to make sure we have that perfect marriage between ourselves, our vision, and then the right people. So Danette, you are just so spot on. And I love your SaaS acronym to allow us to, again, make sure that we're doing the right things. Where is the best place for people to find you if they want to reach out and learn more about getting their own SaaS?
Awesome. Well, my favorite house, the home that I live at, is letstalkstrategies.com. Awesome. It's the best place to reach me. You can go ahead and press any button once you get over there to schedule a discovery session. We have other ways that I can work with you because I enjoy, of course, working with those female CEOs, whether they're consultants, human resource consultants, DEI consultants. I love to help you go from overwhelm to simplifying, automating, systematizing, and streamlining your business. In a nutshell, you know what it is. I love helping you get your SaaS on so you can put your business on rinse and repeat, Clara.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And for all of you watching, don't go away. We'll be right back with more Be Productive.
Tax audits, tax liens, wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you're struggling with your own tax nightmare, we've got great news. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now, you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. It's very easy to get started. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The best bilingual news, business talk, and technology content 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You are watching Now Media Television, the first bilingual media network in the United States.
En esta era digital, las tarjetas de presentación de negocio son cosa del pasado. De hecho, la mayoría de las personas que las reciben las pierden en cuestión de minutos. La videotarjeta de negocios de Now Media es un video de su negocio especialmente creado por nuestros expertos.
En vivo desde Houston, la ciudad espacial. Esto es Now Media Televisión.
Meses sin intereses, pregúntanos. www.galeriaseltriunfo.com